Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, I made this beautiful lacy crochet blouse by joining both panels together along the floral edges. Many of you enjoyed that design, so in today's tutorial, I am going to show you how to join these panels from the opposite side to create a different look and fit and transform two panels into a beautiful blouse. Hope you will like it. In this version of the blouse, I have joined both panels from the baseline edge to create the front and the back section of the blouse. Unlike my previous design where the floral motifs were joined together, this time the floral edges remain along both side seams, creating a completely different look and highlighting the beautiful lace pattern. After joining the panels from the baseline, the floral motifs naturally fall along the sides of the blouse, giving the garment an elegant and decorative finish. Joining the front and back sections with a net panel gives the blouse a classy and elegant look. The net creates a beautiful transition between the panels, adds a touch of sophistication, and enhances the overall appearance of the blouse while keeping it light and airy. Before we begin joining the two panels, I am going to crochet the short lace pattern once again as a quick reminder. For today's tutorial, I will briefly show the pattern and then continue with joining the panels to create the blouse. So let's get started. The number of chain should be the multiple of 4. For this short sample design, I have made 44 chain stitches. The foundation chain should always be a multiple of 4. For a larger project, simply increase the number of chain while keeping the multiple of 4 requirement. Now let's start crocheting the pattern together. To begin row 1, crochet 5 chains, then work 1 single crochet into the 4th foundation chain. This creates the first arch. Continue to form arches across the row with the help of 5 chain and 1 single crochet. In every 4th chain of the foundation row, for 1 complete fan motif, we need 5 arches. In this sample, I have crocheted 11 arches in total. This will allow me to create 1 half fan at the beginning, 1 complete fan in the middle, and 1 half fan at the end. So by working 11 arches with 5 chains and 1 single crochet, we have prepared the perfect foundation for the demonstrating the fan pattern in the next row. The last arch consists of 2 chain and 1 double crochet. Please note that the first and last arches are used for half fan motifs, so they count as half arches. Therefore, the pattern requires 10 complete arches, but in the rows with half fan at both ends, we will work a total of 11 arches. For row 2, simply repeat the first row, work 5 chain stitches, then crochet 1 single crochet in the center of each arch from the previous row. Continue repeating 5 chain and 1 single crochet across the row until you reach the end. By the end of this row, you will once again have 11 arches just like in row 1. This second row creates the foundation that we will use to crochet the fan motif in the next row. Last arch consists of 2 chain and 1 double crochet. To begin row 3, crochet 5 chain stitches which count as the first treble crochet. In the first arch, work 3 treble crochets to create a half fan motif. Then attach the fan to the next arch with a single crochet. Next, crochet 3 arches by working 5 chain and 1 single crochet in each arch. These arches create the spacing between the fan motifs. In the following arch, crochet one complete fan motif with the help of 7 treble crochets. Once the fan is complete, make 3 more arches for the space before the next motif. At the end of the row, work another half fan motif in the last arch and finish the row with extended double crochet. By the end of the row 3, you will have one half fan at the beginning, one complete fan in the center, one half fan at the end. This arrangement forms the base for the decorative lace pattern in the following rows. To begin row 4, crochet 5 chain stitches which count as the first treble crochet. In the first half fan, work 3 treble crochets, making a chain stitch between each treble crochet. This completes the first half fan. Next, crochet 2 arches by working 5 chain and 1 single crochet. These arches create the space between the fan motifs. In the following arch, crochet 1 complete fan by working 7 treble crochets with 1 chain stitch between each treble crochet. Continue repeating the pattern across the row. 2 arches, 1 complete fan with 7 treble crochets and 1 chain between each stitch. At the end of the row, finish with a half fan just as you did at the beginning. This row gives the fan motif a more open and decorative lace appearance, preparing them for the next stage of the pattern. To begin row 5, crochet 6 chain stitches which count as the first treble crochet and the first 2 chain space. In the first half fan, work 3 treble crochets, making 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet. Next, crochet 1 arch to create the space between the fan motifs. In the middle fan, work 7 treble crochets, making 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet. Continue repeating the pattern across the row. One arch for spacing between the fan motif, one complete fan with 7 treble crochets and 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet for space. At the end of the row, finish with a half fan working 3 treble crochets with 2 chain stitches between each treble crochets. For row 6, crochet 3 chain stitches which count as the first double crochet. In each 2 chain space of the previous row, work 5 double crochets. Between every group of 5 double crochets, crochet 1 single crochet. In the next 2 chain space, repeat the group of 5 double crochets. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. 5 double crochet in each 2 chain space, 1 single crochet between each group of 5 double crochet. Work all the way to the end of the row, following the same sequence. This row transforms the open fan into beautiful shell-like motif, giving the lace pattern its elegant floral appearance. For row 7, repeat the same pattern as row 1. Work 11 arches. Each consists of 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet. As you crochet across the row, continue making the arches in the usual way. However, when you reach the point where 2 fan motifs meet, join the 2 corresponding groups of 5 double crochets by working a single crochet 2 together. After joining the 2 groups, continue crocheting the remaining arches with 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet until you reach the end of the row. By the end of the row, you will once again have 11 arches with the adjacent fan motifs neatly joined together to form the beautiful floral lace pattern. For row 8, repeat the same pattern as row 2 by creating arches with 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet. However, this time you will have 10 arches instead of 11. This is because in the previous 6 row pattern repeat, the first arch and the last arch were used as half arches to form the half fans at the beginning and end of the row. When the motifs are joined together, those half arches combine to form a complete motif. As a result, when we begin the next 6 row pattern repeat, the total number of arches is reduced to 10. Continue working 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet across the row until all 10 arches are complete. This row forms the foundation for the next set of fan motifs. For row 9, repeat the same pattern as row 3. Begin the row by crocheting 2 arches. In the following arch, work 7 double crochets to create the foundation of the complete fan motif. Next, crochet 3 arches to create the space between the fan motifs. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. At the end of the row, finish with 2 arches. In this repeat, the fan motifs are positioned between the fans of the previous pattern repeat, creating the staggered lace effect that gives the design its beautiful floral appearance. For row 10, repeat the same pattern as row 4. Begin the row by creating 1 arch. In the next fan motif, work 7 treble crochets, making 1 chain stitch between each treble crochet. Between every 2 fan motifs, crochet 2 arches to maintain the spacing and shape of the lace pattern. Continue repeating the pattern across the row. At the end of the row, finish with 1 arch. For row 11, repeat the same pattern as row 5. Begin the row with 1 arch. In each fan motif, work treble crochets with 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet, just as we did in row 5. Between every 2 fan motifs, crochet 1 arch to create the spacing. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. Between every 2 fan motifs, crochet 1 arch to create the spacing. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. At the end of the row, finish with 1 arch. For row 12, repeat the same pattern as row 6. Turn your work In every 2 chain space from the previous row, crochet 5 double crochets. After each group of 5 double crochets, crochet 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. Work all the way across the row until you reach the end. This row completes the second 6 row pattern. Repeat. Positioned between the motifs of the previous repeat, creating the beautiful staggered lace effect that gives this design its elegant floral appearance. At this point I have completed 24 rows, which means I have repeated the lace pattern 4 times. After measuring my work, the panel is now 23 cm wide, which is exactly half of my required width. The finished length of each panel is 56 cm and I have crocheted 2 identical panels. In my previous video, I joined the panels together along the floral edges to create the front and back of the blouse. This time, however, I am going to use different construction method. Instead of joining the floral edges, I will join the 2 panels from the baseline edge. By joining the panels from the baseline, the floral edge will remain along both side seams, creating a completely different look. Once the panels are joined, they will form the front and back section of the blouse, while the floral edges will become a lovely design feature along the sides. Before joining the panels completely, I will leave an opening for the neckline. I am going to leave approximately 20 cm in the center for the neck opening and mark both sides with stitch markers. These stitch markers will help me identify exactly where to stop joining and where the neckline will begin. Once the neck opening has been marked, I will continue joining the remaining section of the panels on the both sides. You can adjust the neck opening according to your preference, but for my blouse 20 cm provides a comfortable neckline. We will work from the right side of the panels. So first lay both panels flat with their right sides facing up. We will begin joining at the bottom edge of the blouse and work our way upward towards the neck opening. I will use the edges of the arches along the baseline to connect both panels together. Insert your hook from the right side into the edge stitch of the first panel. Join the yarn with slip knot. Then crochet 2 chain stitches. Then move to the next panel. Insert your hook from the wrong side into the corresponding edge stitch of the second panel and crochet 1 double crochet. Then crochet 2 chain stitches. Go back to the first panel. Insert your hook from the right side into the edge of the next arch and crochet 1 double crochet. Then move back to the corresponding arch on the second panel. Insert your hook from the wrong side and crochet 1 double crochet. then crochet 2 chain stitches, go back to the first panel, insert your hook from the right side into the edge of the next arch and crochet 1 double crochet. Now move back to the corresponding arch on the second panel, insert your hook from the wrong side and crochet 1 double crochet, then crochet 2 chain stitches. Move back to the next arch of the first panel and crochet 1 double crochet, then go back to the corresponding arch of the second panel and crochet 1 double crochet. Continue working back and forth between the two panels in this way. 1 double crochet in the edge of the arch on the first panel, 1 double crochet into the corresponding arch on the second panel, then crochet 2 chain stitches. Repeat this process across the row using the edges of the arches and the base line as the joining points. This creates a beautiful net-like joining section between the two panels. The openwork join not only connects the panels securely but also adds an elegant and classy decorative detail to the blouse. After reaching the stitch marker, I will stop joining the panels and begin working on the neckline edging. Starting from the marked stitch, I will crochet single crochets evenly along one side of the neckline. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch. As you move forward, the next stitch marker on the opposite side of the neck opening. Continue crocheting evenly, making sure not to skip any stitch or pull the edging too tightly. This row of single crochets will give the neckline a neat, clean finish and prepare it for any additional edging or decorative border. I will continue working 1 single crochet in each stitch until I reach the next stitch marker. After reaching the next stitch marker, I will begin joining the other section of the panels using the same joining method that I used on the first side. I will work back and forth between the two panels, joining the corresponding baseline arches. I will continue this pattern from the neckline marker all the way to the bottom line edge, making sure that both panels remain aligned and evenly joined. Crochet 2 chain stitches and 1 double crochet, alternating between the first and second panel to create the decorative net join, while the one side of the neckline remains neatly finished with the single crochet edging. Once this section is complete, both sides of the blouse will be joined. The net join between the panels gives the blouse a beautiful, elegant look and adds a delicate, decorative detail to the overall design. Now I am going to finish the remaining side of the neckline, starting from where I left off. I will crochet one single crochet in each stitch all the way around this side of the neck opening. Work evenly and make sure that each stitch receives one single crochet to create a neat and professional finish. Continue crocheting until you reach the point where the neckline edging ends. This simple single crochet border helps strengthen the neckline, prevents stretching, and gives the blouse a clean and polished appearance. After finishing the neckline, we will work on both sides of the blouse. I am going to join the side seams using the floral edges of the panels. First, measure and mark 23 cm from the top edge of the sleeves. I have found that 23 cm gives me a comfortable sleeve opening, but you can adjust this measurement according to your preferred fit. I have crocheted the last row of the design up to the second sleeve stitch marker. At this point, only 4 floral motifs remain unworked on this side. The section above the stitch marker will remain open to form the sleeve opening, while the section below the marker will be joined to create the side seam. Using the floral motif as joining points, I will join the corresponding flowers of the front and back panels, working from the stitch marker down towards the bottom edge of the blouse. This method creates a neat side seam while preserving the beauty of the floral lace design. To join the front and back panels, I will use the last row of the lace design. Starting from the underarm area, I will join the corresponding third and fourth petal of the flower of the front and back panels and continue working down towards the bottom edge of the blouse. As I join the panels, I will make sure that the motif and stitches are aligned properly so that the side seam looks neat and even. I will continue crocheting these remaining 4 floral motifs while joining the corresponding motif of the front and back panels. I will work the first 2 petals normally, crocheting 5 double crochets and 1 single crochet in each petal as usual. When I reach the third petal, I will begin the joining process with the corresponding third petal on the opposite side. After crocheting 2 double crochets of the third petal, insert your hook from the right side into the third double crochet of the corresponding petal on the other panel. Then crochet 1 double crochet through both pieces to join them together. Next, crochet the remaining 2 double crochets to complete the petal. Repeat the same process for the fourth petal. Crochet the first 2 double crochets. Insert the hook into the third double crochet of the corresponding fourth petal on the opposite panel. Crochet 1 double crochet to join the petals. Finish the petal by crocheting the 2 remaining double crochets. This joining method creates a seamless connection between the front and back panels while preserving the beautiful floral appearance of the lace pattern. Continue working along the floral edging in the usual way until you reach the third petal of the next floral motif. Work the first 2 petals normally, crocheting 5 double crochets and 1 single crochet in each petal. When you reach the third petal, repeat the joining process with the corresponding petal on the opposite panel. After crocheting 2 double crochets of the petal, insert your hook into the corresponding petal of the other side. Crochet 1 double crochet to join them together. And then complete the petal with the remaining 2 double crochets. Repeat the same method for the fourth petal. After crocheting 2 double crochets of the petal, insert your hook into the corresponding petal of the other side. Crochet 1 double crochet to join them together. And then complete the petal with the remaining 2 double crochets. Then continue crocheting the remaining petals normally. By repeating this process on each floral motif, the front and back panels will be joined neatly while maintaining the beautiful floral pattern along the side seam. Look, I have now completed the joining process on both sides of the blouse, and this is the final shape of my blouse. The side seams have been joined neatly. The neckline is finished and the sleeve openings have been left according to the measurements we marked earlier. If you would like longer sleeves, you can continue crocheting additional rows of the same lace pattern around the sleeve openings until you reach your desired length. Adding more rows to the sleeves will not only increase their length but will also enhance the beauty and elegance of the blouse. You can keep the sleeves short for a light summer look or extend them to create a more dramatic and stylish design. Now we are going to work on the bottom edge of the blouse. For this finishing round, I am going to keep it simple and neat by working single crochet stitches all around the body edge. Join the yarn at any point along the bottom edge of the blouse and begin crocheting. Work one single crochet in each stitch. Maintain an even stitch count to keep the edge smooth and flat. Continue working single crochets evenly all the way around the body edge. When you reach the starting point, join with slip stitch to complete the round. This simple single crochet border makes the blouse a clean and polished finish while allowing the lace pattern to remain the main focus of the design. When you reach the starting point, join with the slip stitch to complete the round. This completes our crochet summer top tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me in today's crochet tutorial. I truly appreciate your support and the time you have spent crocheting with me. I hope you love your finished top as much as I love designing and making it. Stay creative, stay inspired, and I will see you very soon in another crochet tutorial. Bye for now and happy crocheting.